All righty, we are live. Cajun Coin Hunter here today, aka Boudreaux. How y'all are tonight? Got the Evan Root hat on tonight. I still hadn't found my Cajun Coin Hunter hat. I'm man, I don't know somebody came in this house and stole my hat. I doubt it. Let me get my other side, YouTube side paused. There we go. All right, I got my chat popped out. I got my microphone set up. Made sure it's on the right microphone. Got that. Got a hospital armband too. Talk about that more later. Okay, and got all the things on my up here and right there. Some of them still on. I didn't know they put them. I didn't know. I thought they took them off up there. I noticed in the mirror earlier that they were on there. So I'll get them off later. I got a lot of hair on my chest. All right. Let's see. We got Mr. Smoky Ribs up in the house. How you doing, Russ?
Oh, doing good, doing good.
That works. You got yours. Was that some different headphones you got?
It's same ones. I just forget to put them on half the time.
Okay. Well, I don't remember the wire being all down there and all that.
Yeah, I don't wear them that often. Well, I need to
Okay.
shave. I haven't shaved in about 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, on the sides and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made sure I did that before I called. Well, I was shaved last night. I was clean shaved last night, cleaned up and all that. But
Yeah, I gotta shoot a video tomorrow, so I'll shave tomorrow. I've been doing a lot of painting and fixing up around here, and haven't been worried about paint. I mean, shaving. So
yeah, I got you. Cyclops Stacks, what's up? Morning, me, Monsieur Steve Rice. How's it going? All right, and we got my cousin, Raging Cajun from Southeast Louisiana, in the house with us tonight too. What's going on,
Yeah,
morning, me?
I don't know. Headed up to Washington State, Northwest.
Northwest, the
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. Man,
Uh huh. Yeah. We're gonna go have some fun in the snow.
I didn't know it was snowing up there. I didn't know it was snowing up there.
Yeah, there's a system coming through there.
I got you. Yeah. Oh, okay. We already up here. Yeah, you bounced out for a half a second, bounced right back in on your own. David Carlisle, what's up? Uncle Bradley, what's up, Bradley Hype, BH Customs. And yeah, David Carlisle. Dave not here, man.
Mhm. Hey,
David said
David.
hello, Raising Cajun. I know you can't see chat.
No,
Rail
unfortunately.
92.
how you doing, David?
So you've been doing work around your house, you said?
Yeah, just man, this house ain't been painted in 10 years. I just got through painting the hallway. I did all the trim earlier, painted the doors. We did part of the house last year, and I'm just getting things that we should have done a year ago. I'll probably
On
end
the
up
inside?
on the inside. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I got you.
It's brick on the outside. On painting outside would be the trim, fascia, and all that. But the fascia is actually aluminum. It just needs to be power washed.
Yeah. Well, it's probably well, if you got
Or
aluminum on the front,
it,
you probably got vinyl underneath.
it's probably vinyl. I said aluminum. It's more likely vinyl.
No, it's aluminum on the fascia. It is aluminum on the
Yeah,
fascia part, but underneath the pin
that's
up
what I'm.
underneath,
That's what I'm talking about. Like where your roof overhangs, that
that's
it's under here.
yeah, that's the soffit.
Yeah, that looks. I don't think it's
That's
aluminum.
vinyl.
I think that's
That's
vinyl.
vinyl. Yeah,
It just
but
needs.
vinyl on the face. You know where your
Yeah,
roof comes down and then it flattens out vertical. That's
yeah,
about that wide.
right,
That's
right.
going to be aluminum, and then the underpin, the soffit, is going to be vinyl.
Yeah, I got you.
Tommy Hanlon, how you doing? How's the weather in Dublin, Ireland? Quick Wrench, what's up, Dave? Oh, excuse me.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah,
Lurch.
I had
Wow,
some.
damn.
I had a few busted tiles in the kitchen. We got the 12 by 12-inch ceramic tiles or porcelain. I'm not sure. I think it's ceramic. But I did that about a week and a half ago. I had to replace 9 of them. And I don't know what happened, man. They used thin set when they originally put this floor down, but it's right on the concrete. There's no kind of underlayment or anything. And it seemed like in the wintertime, this floor contracts. In the summer, it expands. In other words, the concrete's actually moving, different times of the year. And it finally gave way right in that area. And there's a place in the living room that needs some attention too. So I got those pieces up, and the thin set just popped right up. I don't know. I doubt this whole house has even got a moisture barrier under the slab.
I was going to say that.
I went down with ceramic tile mastic, and it seems to be holding really good, but time will tell. But I done that about a week and a half ago. Grouted it in. It was hard to tell the original color of this grout. It's kind of a light grayish color, and that's what I went back with. It looks pretty good. So got that behind me. Just trying to do all the things.
That could have been since they laid the tile. There wasn't enough thin set. It wasn't placed right. And if you wear boots like I do, every day of the year, whatever, I can walk across somebody's tile floor and I can tell if they got a tile that's not set right. It's going to have a different sound to it.
You can feel it. Well, that little bit of area in the living room, it's actually, when it gets cold, it kind of buckles. You can feel it pressing down every time you step on it. So we try not to step in that area until I can get it repaired.
Yeah, there's really only one true way to cure all that. It's to rip it all up and redo it all.
Yeah, well, everything, like where I placed them 9, it's just there in my kitchen, and everything beyond it and everything in front of it was fine. It's just as sturdy as it can be. And so I took my that orbital multi-tool, and I've got that had them blades on there that cuts through the grout and everything. And I actually cut out more than what was bad to where I knew I was getting into good, and it bonded back really good, but time will tell. But yeah, you're right. But I'm renting this house. You know what I'm saying? I don't own this house, so I'm not putting a lot of money into it. It's one reason I haven't done a living room. They should be doing a house inspection here in another month or two. When they do, I'm gonna show them that tile because it's really their problem, not mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why you painting? Why you painting? Why you doing tile? Let them.
Well, I don't mind painting. I mean, it needs.
Let them take it off the rent.
But the tile, the fact that it actually broke and everything on me, I said I'm gonna go ahead and replace that, and I did. But that other is not busted; it's just loose.
They can go to any flooring company, and that flooring company the guy behind the counter will tell them tile will break if it's not set right.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
It's also not my fault that they didn't put that underlayment under it. I mean, you can go.
Floors.
I never seen never heard no underlayment that's thin set over concrete. That's it.
Yeah,
unless you got a dip in the floor. And then you put that self-leveling down, to counteract that.
Well, wood board, they use that concrete board that you lay down. That's got seams in it. But they make this underlayment.
That's called Durock.
Yeah, I can't remember the proper name of that, but it prevents, if your floor shifts, it ain't going to screw with the tile. It goes between the concrete slab, and then you actually use thin set to put it down, then more thin set on top of your tile. It creates like a barrier between that and your concrete.
Okay, that's called Durock.
No, this one I'm talking about is just flexible. Durock is that concrete board.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, the one you're talking about,
flexible? Or some shit, or something like that.
Yeah, you'd have to Google. I don't know the proper name of it, but
Elderberry, how you doing, man?
I laid floors pretty much all my life. I mean, I grew up doing that stuff.
Yeah, my wife said, they probably got somebody to do it real cheap. It was just a shoddy job to begin with. Just didn't.
We never put anything under. When we jumped in the house, did tile, Now, if we had a wooden floor, we put Durock on it. You know, you got
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, a lot of people didn't, and even if you Google it, it says you can go right onto the concrete, but that's the problem. Concrete expands and contracts, and it moves, and it can
Yeah,
give you problems down the road, which it did here. Luckily, not everywhere. That's the only two spots in the whole house, you know.
I've seen them do hardy plank on the top of a concrete floor. I've seen them do hardy plank already. I'm like, why are they doing that? And because usually concrete doesn't expand sideways and all, it'll kind of go up and down a little bit, you know.
My floor buckles like it's actually contracting, you know. It ain't much. Just think about it.
It must
It
be
wouldn't
the
take.
soil underneath that's finally doing that, and that's why they got
You gotta.
foundation repair companies too.
Be honest with you, and I seen a big crack in the concrete. I say it wasn't that wide; it was just a definite crack.
Yeah, well, yeah, your
And I
your
doubt there's
slab finally
any
gave.
kind of. I doubt
You
there's
got a
any
crawl
kind of.
space under your house.
No, it's a slab right on top of the
It's a
ground.
concrete slab.
Yeah,
Okay.
right on top of the earth. But I doubt seriously. This house was probably built in the late '60s, early '70s, and I doubt there was any kind of bisqueen or anything laid as a moisture barrier under the concrete way back then. I doubt it seriously. So it's
Tarek said he used a fracture membrane of concrete like Red Guard or Aqua Defense. I'm not familiar with those because
yeah.
we had never used anything.
Well, uh, like I said,
Like
I
that.
don't own the house. I'm just doing a patch job. That's what I did in there. And I'm gonna let them do the living room, or they can pay me to do it. It's a little bit more involved. I think there's more of it. It's probably going to involve probably 15 to 20 tiles. You know.
You know, Mississippi done had a couple of earthquakes in the last 20 years.
Really?
Small earthquakes. They had one. Let me think where. It was in the Sound, and it was on the news that they had a small earthquake. I was at a store. I forget the name of the store I was at. It was in there all of a sudden, man. Everything you know, like, and then there was a boom or something, and a rattling like for 5 seconds. Everybody, what the heck was that? And I'm like, well, y'all know Mississippi is on a fault line. I did know that at the time, and it was on the news this afternoon.
It runs just south of Ocean Springs. Out, it starts in the Gulf, it runs through Ocean Springs, right on straight up to St. Louis, Missouri.
They said it was it happened. It was a small, light tremor earthquake, whatever, in the Mississippi Sound.
Yeah,
and that's what that shaking was. You know, somebody thought the plant over in Pascagoula went up in a ball of fire or something. You know,
right. Yeah,
that would have did it. That would have done that.
Do you remember that show? It Could Happen Tomorrow was the name of it. Do you remember that?
Probably
15, 20, 25 years ago.
Probably
Anyway, they actually did an episode talking about this fault line that runs south of Ocean Springs, right on through, and it was talking about how just in a matter of like 2 or 3 seconds, how much damage could be done all the way up to St. Louis. St. Louis being hard hit, it would start here.
That's right. And yeah, if it does a major something happens, they said where the water from the Gulf was going to come in at and what was going to be underwater and all that.
Yeah.
The Mississippi River was going to be part of the Gulf of Mexico, up to like a point or something by St. Louis up there, kind of, you know, a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles wide up there by St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then coming on down a little wider.
Right. Yeah,
Baton Rouge wouldn't be there. New Orleans wouldn't be there. It'd be there, but it'd be underwater.
That was a good show. It was hypothetical things that actually has a potential to happen. Just leave it at that. There's a possibility that it could happen tomorrow. That was the name of it. Could happen tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, everybody wondering what the title of the video is for. I had a little hospital visit Monday night. Late, I was coughing, and I was helping my lungs get that stuff out of there. You know, I was getting over from that flu, and some blood was coming up. Well, I had a half a coffee cup of wine Monday evening, and when I spit up, I was like, "Damn, it's blood." I'm like, "Oh wait, that's wine." Okay, that's wine. Well, because it cleared up. I had ate and all that later, and it cleared up, so I wasn't worried about it. Well, it did it Tuesday morning a little bit, about 11 o'clock, just a little bit, and Tuesday evening it started doing it again. I'm like, no, that ain't no wine. Not from, that's 24 hours past and more. Elvis, what's up, Elvis? And
Elvis.
so I wasn't getting worried. And Ed, the old tech guy, sent me a link. I jumped in the panel with them guys and had a blast. And I told them what was going on. They said, Boo, you need to get to the hospital. I'm like, no, I just popped a blood vessel, and there was some comments in the chat, yeah, Boo's like, yeah, I'm spitting up blood, coughing up a lung, and Boo's like, no big deal. Everybody in the comments like, huh? What? Get your butt to the ER, boy. Jam's Landscape. How's it going? And
yeah, if I got blood coming out of either end, I think I'm going somewhere for sure.
If it had been coming out the bottom, yeah, that's serious there.
I had that happen. It was a GI bleed, man. I just about bled to death over that little issue.
My dad did.
Or
that's
big
how
issue.
He died. He bled to death.
Yeah.
But I don't know but he was throwing up his blood, they said. So my nanny said she was a nurse at the hospital, and that's what the hospital told her, because she was at home when my dad had died. That was his sister-in-law.
I thought I did. I passed out and hit my head on a wheelchair at the hospital, and I just fell out. I didn't lost so much blood, and I told my wife once all that was over, I said, I guess I know what it feels like to die, because buddy, it just lights out, just lights out.
So last night, in the chat, and I was spitting up a little blood, coughing up, spitting up blood during the live stream, and it cleared up. It's like just, a little blood vessel and all, and I wasn't forceful, it wasn't forceful coughing. Well, I got up about 5 a.m, turned the coffee pot on. Johnny's asleep on the sofa, and I figured he'd have probably woke up anyway, smell the coffee. And I'm drinking coffee. I'm doing a little research on the computer, and I start coughing, and man, it's coming up blood again. I'm like, dang. Then about 45 minutes later, it starts like not just every 10 minutes or something. It was like every 10 seconds. It was like it was bleeding in there, and my lungs wanted to get it out, so it was coughing up, man, and it was like that sputum, phlegm, all that congestion, whatever, full of blood. Now it was in big chunks. I'm like, oh man, eek. How you doing, East Coast Ken? And so I woke up, after about 5 minutes of that, I woke up Missy. I said, I got to go to the hospital. I said, it's a lot worse. And then I woke up Johnny, because all the rumbling around and stuff, he was going to get up anyway. So I figured I'd let him get his coffee. And I got dressed. We're going to the hospital clothes on. Hell, I couldn't put my pants on, too tight. I had my cassons under my pants, so I had to put on my Liberties. And those were a little tight. Thank you, Tarek. Tarek to the rescue again with the Liberties. And the ambulance come and got me. And hell, after I left in the ambulance, I did one little thing of blood spit, cough, blood spit. got to the hospital, I might have did 2. You know, so it went away.
Clotted
It went away.
up.
No, it was all out, I guess. And I wish I'd have
sound
brought some of that
I,
with
it
me.
sounded
you know?
like you was actually bleeding inside your lungs. The reason I said finally clotted up, that blood comes
Oh
from
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
But
Well, it was coming out. It probably did. It clotted up, and that's what was wanting to come out. But
you
I
don't
had
take you don't take any kind of blood thinners or aspirin
no,
daily, do you?
nope.
That's probably a good thing.
So yeah, so I had like these little. You don't get paper towels in full sheets no more. You get them in these little half sheets off the roll. I ain't seen a long whole sheet in a long time. So I fold it in half, and I'm spitting it in there about 2 times. I wish I showed that to the ambulance people.
Yeah.
Acadian ambulance and the doctor in the emergency room.
Right.
Now I did come, I had like 3 small ones come up at the hospital. Nothing major, not like I had before, but they did a chest X-ray. They put me an IV in at the hospital because they give me a CAT scan, and they had to put that contrast in me in an IV. I didn't have no glucose, dextrose, all that stuff in the IV bag. I didn't have none of that. They just put Doctor Who, what's up? They just put the IV in for the contrast for the CAT scan.
Yeah.
And that come up clear. And he said I got a touch of bronchitis. And he says it's strained. And what else he said it was? What's that? Hematopsic cough. And it was just the cough. And he said, you popped a blood vessel. And it's just what I thought it was, but it was.
Yeah.
And they did check for a clot, a blood clot, that might have hit my lungs, but I always thought, I think the ultrasound guy a couple of years ago, I think he said if a blood clot hits your lungs, you ain't got time for a Hail Mary. Or was it in your brain or something? I don't know.
It's your heart, I know.
Your heart. Yeah, but see, I got a hole in my heart from one side to the other. My left side is bigger than my right side, and I got a hole that it goes in between. So he says, you safe on that. He said a lot of adults in their upper years, your age, I was 58 at the time. He said a lot of people get a hole in their heart up there, and that actually saves their life from a blood clot.
Yeah, a lot of people, it even happens to kids. If you get like a really bad, severe bruise, and you know how older people bruise easier, that bruise can actually get a clot, and it can travel. If it happened to travel up to your heart, it could cause a heart attack. That's why it's so dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Chris, East Wing Farms, what's up? Yeah, at least it, if it, like, bled to death or whatever, coughed up both my lungs. 710, left side down. What's up? Naturally nude pajamas ad, 20 seconds.
Yeah, I tell you what, that scared me to death when that happened to me. It was diverticulitis. I got diverticulosis, and that got inflamed. What it was, I was taking this pill. I've been on it for 30 days, and I just got the doctor. He didn't want to re-prescribe it. Now I know why, but it's an NSAID. It's like aspirin, ibuprofen, anything like that. But I was taking high doses of it, and I woke up and I felt bad one night, and I popped 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. Plus, I was taking that pill. Plus, I take a baby aspirin every day. And so I was overloaded on NSAIDs, and it caused that diverticulitis. And I was hemorrhaging to death. Seriously. I mean, it was a GI bleed. That's the reason I went to the emergency room. And they actually got rid of that through antibiotics. But while I was in there, they did an ultrasound to see where the bleeding and all was coming from. That's when they seen that renal mass in my left kidney that I don't have no more that I used to have. Next thing I know, I'm getting my kidney removed. I was in there for a whole different reason, but it was like a blessing in disguise, really, because they caught that early, but not early enough to save any of the kidney. They want to take it all out of there. But yeah, I'm missing my left kidney altogether, which a lot of people are born with one kidney, and living on one kidney ain't nothing. Can't even tell the difference.
Right. Oh yeah, but as soon as they take that kidney out, well, no alcohol, no smoking. But if you don't take the kidney out, they'll still say no alcohol, no smoking.
Yeah. But I guarantee you one thing: I don't take ibuprofen no more. If I need something for a headache, I'll take Tylenol or something that's. I still take this, and they told me to quit taking this. 81 milligrams a day. I do that because at my age, my dad, he had heart trouble. My oldest brother's had a heart attack, so it's like I'm taking that aspirin. That ain't what caused my problem. One aspirin a day ain't gonna do it to me. It was all the things I was doing at one time. Had no idea I was eating my guts up, But
yeah,
I mean, I've heard all my life that aspirin and that kind of stuff eat your guts up. Well, if you do it all the time and a large sum, it will literally.
Them insides will eat your stomach lining and cause ulcers, and your intestinal linings. Because that's what caused my on my small intestine. Right when your small intestine comes out your stomach, they got what they call your duodenum.
Yeah.
And I had a little tiny perforation, little hole in my small intestine, and they said, "You taking any insides?" I'm like, "What's that?" He says, "Some kind of it's inflammation medicine, kind of painkiller." I'm like,
that's an NSAID right there.
Aspirin. Oh, really? Aspirin? I don't know
aspirin. I got pain on my fingers if you're wondering what that is, but NSAID can be aspirin, ibuprofen, like somebody said, a lot of your pain pills.
I might be thinking of the wrong thing, but I know Aleve, and it's what's the medical name for Aleve? Naproxen.
I think Aleve is Aleve.
And naproxen.
Isn't Aleve kind of like ibuprofen or no?
No, it's a sodium based
okay.
medicine. It's an anti-inflammatory. And then the doctor told me, he says, I said, yeah, I'm taking a prescription Aleve. I says, naproxen. So he said, yeah. both pronounce the same thing. He says, yeah, flush that down the toilet as soon as that's my surgeon told me, flush that down the toilet when you get on. So after a month in the hospital, I went for my follow-up. My doctor gave me, about a year later, I think he gave me something else for inflammation. I forget what it was, but it was the same thing. And then I went in the hospital again for my gallbladder, and the same surgeon. And he said, "You taking any kind of anti-inflammatories?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I told him the name of it, and he said, "Flush that down the toilet." He said, "That's the same thing as that naproxen, just a different name."
Yeah, that's what I was taking, was an anti-inflammatory. And I asked them that day, what could I take for back pain? They said, really nothing. That's not going to, almost anything you take is going to be like an NSAID. All right, I just guess I'll live with it. And I do, Yeah. But I will, somewhere up here, I got like some Equate brand Tylenol. I can take Tylenol, but Tylenol don't really do nothing to me. It just never has. It don't sound like it does anything. So I just deal with it when I have a headache or anything like that,
And we got Mr. Newman's Maniac in the house. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but that is Santa Claus, the Santa Claus Express.
I take weed for my pain. I hear you. I get a bad headache sometimes. I get a bad headache sometime, and I'll take one of them gummies right there. That makes it feel better.
But you see, Russ, you got the body. You don't have the body of a 65-year-old man. You know, you
I,
go to the gym, you work out. Me, I'm only right at 60. I got a big old gut. Uh, you know, that's from eating all that good Mrs. Good food, though. You know,
yeah.
and
Well, I got
I'm
a
just
gut
not
on.
healthy like I should be. You know,
Yeah, I don't guess none of us are. I don't do as much as I've been working around this house a lot though, which I've been needing to do. But Tylenol is really tough. Yeah, it's rough on your liver. That's the problem too, man. Most of the stuff they give you, it might take care of one problem, but it messes something else up. You know, your liver mainly. You know, can't win for losing.
Well,
man, I know them narcos. They don't bother my stomach at all.
Stop flushing your pills down the toilet. All that stays in the waterways. Yeah, it makes its way
What's
back.
up, Billy Strong? Strong's Adventures up in Shreveport, Louisiana, representing the Northwest side tonight. But yeah, I got a little. I wasn't scared per se. Uh, I was calm, cool, and collected. I was concerned.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I was,
naturally.
I
Naturally.
was very concerned.
Yeah, you smoke, right?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you're smoking now.
yeah. Smoked them little cigars, you
I
know.
tell you what, my wife had open heart surgery three, almost 4 years ago. And she quit smoking for about 6 months and been smoking ever since. I said, "My God!" I said, "You laid there and let them cut you wide open, repaired and replaced all them arteries with arteries out of your leg, and you're going right back to the very thing that did that to you." She goes, "Shut up." I said, "All right."
Well, she got a new overhaul, though. You see, she's good for another 55, 60 years.
I guess. I
That's
just
what my
see,
that's what my buddy Hodges said. He had an open heart. He had a quadruple bypass, and he was wasn't long after that. He was out putting gill nets, catching some big old garfish, man, some big old 5 and 6 foot garfish. You know, about that big around.
yeah,
And he was smoking and drinking. You know, he was at the camp. You know, out in the marsh.
right.
And he said, I had a quadruple bypass. He said, this is my exercise. You know, he owned the exterminating company. And the doctor said, quit smoking, quit drinking, give up them 2 habits there, and you're going to live a long time. Well, he said, I just got an overhaul on my heart. And he says, I'm good for another 65 years. So
I
he
guess
says,
that's
I'm going
what
to
she's
keep on
thinking,
doing it.
man. I'm not going to argue with her. I mean, it's her life. She can live it however she wants. I got my vices for sure, you know. But it just kind of like, golly, man, that'd have been a wake up call for most people. But oh well.
Use a
see, I got
leave
a,
because of smoking and drinking. That's what they was giving me, a leave, naproxen,
see, I
naproxen.
got a, I've got a DNR in place, so
Oh really? Okay.
yeah. Do not resuscitate me. It's time for me to go. Let me go.
Yeah, my
Oh,
dad
what's
had
that DNR? Living
Do
will,
not, do not resuscitate.
living will. Okay,
my dad had
about the
that.
same thing.
My
Hmm.
dad died of. He was almost 90 when he had it, but he had a stroke that hit his brain stem, and
Oh,
he was basically a vegetable, you know. And they actually put him on shakes and stuff intravenously and everything,
all
but
right, Skipper.
he had a legal living will not to do that. When quality of life went out the window, so did he. You know what I'm saying? That's the way he wanted
Yeah,
it. So they took him off the shakes and everything. And man, he still lay there another 2 weeks. They said they never seen nobody live that long without any kind of fluids, food, or anything. He literally just laid there for 2 solid weeks. I'm like, my goodness, you know.
no
But
IVs.
no, nothing. They took
Wow.
him off everything. It's like them nurses saying that usually like 4 days maybe on some people, but it was blowing their minds. You know, his eyes
Yeah.
then went flat. They were black as Cole, you know, is like horrible to look at, and he was still living. And
Damn.
I mean, you know how people talk, but my sisters, this one in particular, was in there with him almost constantly, and it's almost like he did not want to die with her in the room. So she went home one night. My oldest brother was down here. He stayed with him, and he passed away that night. You know,
Oh, okay.
that was probably back in 2011, I think it was. No, I'm sorry, 2009.
Lewis, what's up? Lewis Motors and Boats. What's up, mon ami? Yeah,
Yeah,
Billy said DNR is the same as living will. They
yeah,
just call it living will down here. I guess that's the technical name for it.
yeah,
Because every time you go in the hospital, like for tests, an X-ray or whatever, and you sign in, you checking in at that front desk, and then they take, because they got it scheduled for you, because you brought the paper in and all that, and they know about you. They actually got a living will. Nope. But even for tests, that's not going in the hospital for a stay. That's just to go in their radiology department to use their equipment. If you go
yeah,
in the lab to draw blood, you got to check in at the front desk. You just don't hand them a paper and wait in the chairs. They got to sign you in. They got to make a band for you. They got to do all of that stuff. And
yeah,
that's a long process that takes about 15 to 20 minutes just to sign you in. And they for a blood test. And then they ask you, do you have a living will? What's going to go wrong with a blood test? What's going to go wrong with X-ray? What, the machine can fall on you? Yeah. It'll come on the bolts will strip out the ceiling for that big old X-ray machine, and yeah, that'll crush you to death or half to death. Put you on whatever resuscitation.
Nah,
But
Chris, this stupid cat in here that blows my wife. I guess she's in heat. She's been doing that crap for days on end.
oh, she's in
Squall,
heat. I can hear her back there.
squalling and hollering and screaming and like,
So
shut
when
up.
when me and Missy get like when we go to the doctor, I go every 6 months. She goes every 3 months. Because certain medicine she takes for her tumor and all that, brain tumor.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor give us a paper, it's time for y'all yearly blood test, whatever. And we don't go to the hospital. We go to this lab that's over here by the old hospital, by Dr. Stern's office. We go in there, we hand them our paper, and she types it in the computer, makes a copy of it, boom. Okay, come in the back. I mean, 5 minutes from start to finish. We out of that lab. We ain't got no band, no questions, no nothing. We just hand them that paper. They type it in the computer. They make a copy of it, put it in our file folder. We go in the back. They stick a needle in us. They draw a couple vials of blood, and we out of there. That fast. And that's for both of us. 5 minutes for both of us. So we don't go to the reason that was I had to take off of work one day for a couple hours in the afternoon. I said, I was remodeling the house. I said, Waylon, I said, I got to lock up this house this afternoon. He said, why? I said, I got to bring Missy. We got to go to the lab, get her blood work done. I mean, go to the hospital, get her blood work done. He said, just regular blood work, from the doctor. I'm like, yeah. He said, just go to the lab. I said, what lab? Where? He said, by the old hospital on Moosa Boulevard. He said, last building on the right. Just turn in right there and you'll see the lab right there on the left-hand side, right by Dr. Stern's office. And he says, you're in and out. I take my daughter there all the time. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, I'll stay around the house and do a few things, while you're gone. I said, all right. And sure enough, man, I mean, that was the first time she went there. So they wanted the insurance cards and stuff like that. And that only took an extra 3 minutes. So in 10 minutes, she was out of there. That was way better than going to the hospital and sitting down for an hour.
Yeah, for real.
So that's where we go. We go to that lab.
I'll be right back. My wife just walked in.
All right. Oh, brought him a case. Where you at? You said you heading to Washington, so you at Texas right now or something?
No, we're going across the northern part of the states.
Oh, okay.
In
You're up in the.
Indiana right now.
Oh hell, you're not far from Theo and them.
No, I actually went through Fort Wayne a little while ago.
Okay.
He lives just
Mountain
south of
number
Fort Wayne.
card. What's up, Dean? Sound like Russ trying to dehydrate a kitty. I had a cat one time, man, that come in heat. Oh man, that wailing, whining, wailing, meowing, and them long meows, sticking that hind end in the air. And we had a house cat, and she didn't go outside. But we had to watch her, make sure she didn't run outside when we opened the door.
Shit, my wife will walk the cat on a leash.
Yeah, they got.
It's crazy to see. It's funny to see, and people just are just amazed of how well that cat will walk right beside her on the leash.
You gonna go through Montana?
I think so. Yeah,
Rail wanted to know.
I think so.
Rail 92. And Dean's up there in Montana too.
It's either gonna be 80 or 90.
Mountain of Coin Accord. He's up Montana. He's up in the mountains. So I know you ain't gonna be going through the mountains up that far north.
Who knows?
You're gonna go through the mountains, but I don't know if you're gonna go through his part of the state. David Carlisle must have the D must be missing because Lewis typed in Avid hello. I don't know why it does that on YouTube. I've never seen David Carlisle's name without the D, but sometimes he's in the chat and there's no D on his name.
It does it on mine too.
Really? On your name, or you see it on David's name?
See it on David's name.
Okay. That's the first time I seen that or heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mountain Coin Accord that 90 runs clean across Montana.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they gave us this kind of load going in the Northwest. I'm like,
who was it that said somebody told me get better? Oh, that was Danny over in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Salt Lake City. Full wave wreck. He said, bad weather up here. Nasty weather up there.
Mm-hmm.
Salt Lake City.
We got after we drop in Washington, we got a deadhead down to Portland. Portland, Oregon, pick up something going to Georgia.
You ain't gonna be far from Tarek. And
Tarek don't want to
Adam.
meet up with me.
Huh?
Tarek don't want to meet up with me. He don't like me.
He don't.
Strong's adventure. Is he an electrician or something?
Yeah, he is. He is.
So he's
well,
running.
You don't remember him, Russ? You don't remember Billy? He's a guy. He's a guy always with Papa Texas in the live streams, and they drinking and all that, doing the outdoor grilling with the black pot, cooking outside on fires and stuff.
I don't guess I've ever seen none of them live streams. Whose live stream is it? Papa Texas or?
Yeah, Papa Texas.
Huh.
Him, Papa Texas and Billy sticking peanut butter and jelly.
Okay. Let's see if I can find him on YouTube.
And I've been well, you can just click on them three dots next to his name.
Oh, they do that now?
Yeah, click
I
on
know
them
they
3 dots.
did. I know they did, and then they.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you have a blue wrench. You can do that. You can click on them dots and it'll say go to channel.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got to go over here to the YouTube side. Hang on.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to do it from the YouTube side.
Let me. Uh,
Yeah, y'all were talking about Papa Texas.
go to
Well, we
channel.
were not long ago, a couple nights ago. Well, something. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, something.
Okay, he don't really do any electrical on this channel, then, huh?
No, all cooking.
Okay. I'm
No,
also
he's a commercial electrician, plants and factories and stuff. He messes with that big stuff.
okay.
House residential too, but his day job is commercial
Gotcha.
work. Pulling
Okay.
that big 500, like
Yeah.
you get some big old cable like that.
Mhm.
Oh, I know,
500
man.
500 MZ.
That's what I used to hate about working on those DDGs that we built at English Shipbuilding. They'd run that cable through them hallways, passageways, and until they could get it up in the overhead, it would just be going all through there. And they try to tie it up on the side, banging your head. That cable would be that big around, just bunches of them. Like God,
Yeah.
they ran a lot of fiber optics, all kind of stuff.
Well, that was running in conduits, wasn't it? That y'all had made
No,
piping? No.
now there's some boats that's got like conduit. It's just pipe, like 6-inch pipe, 8-inch pipe
Yeah.
that goes down like the size of the ship. But that stuff runs all through. It's got it in raceways. It's all up in
Yeah.
the overhead. You can see every bit of it. You can see all the duct work on a Navy ship. None of that's hid. It's just done
Yeah.
neatly to where it looks all right.
Easier to get to repair damage.
Yeah, duct work, electrical, piping systems, all that's exposed, but it's all painted, it's detailed. It looks good when they're said and done, but it's not hid like it is in a building. But
Yeah.
there are some ships that do run conduit through parts of the ship, but even that, there's still gonna be a lot of it exposed.
Billy said, laughing out loud. He said the company I work for does it all.
I hear
He
you.
just got a clipboard and a pencil, a pen, like do that. Y'all do that. See this, do that.
Yeah, I hear you.
3 to 4 inch conduits for cath labs for a new machine at one of the hospital. Okay.
I've had to work in hospitals. We did a job over in Fairhope, Alabama, and we were tying. Now I was fitter / pipe welder, but I was also on the plumbing side of this company I worked for, Bram Construction Group out of Mobile. They do plumbing, commercial, and industrial piping systems, and I did a little bit of all of it. But we had to come out the existing machine room, and we had to use hot taps to tap into the chill water system, and we also had to tap into the boiler system, and we had to run copper. I think we ran, what was that, like 2.5-inch copper all the way through the hospital down to the corridor. We had to go through surgery even to get to where they was building this new wing at, and we had to bring all that copper out there, these headers. Then we had to plumb it all in from there, where everything went. But that was fun. And we had to actually dress out in these scrubs and wear them little booty things on our feet and all that.
Yeah.
You know.
Keep all whatever you had on your feet in those booties.
Yeah.
On those enclosure slippers,
Yeah.
whatever.
I worked a lot of different jobs, but that was about the craziest I've ever experienced.
Did y'all have to get up in the ceiling tiles and do all that?
Yeah, we had to remove them. Our pipe come in like 20-foot lengths. We had to cut them in 10-foot to where we didn't have to fool as much tile just to get them up in there. Use coupling. Right. It was all soft solder, every bit of it. And I did every joint on that entire system. And when we finally brought it outside, we capped it off, and they hooked nitrogen to it. And I forget what he pressurized it to, whatever it's supposed to be. and left it for a whole week. No leaks whatsoever in that. But
Shit, you ought to see it when you building a new building, a hospital. Well, it wasn't a hospital, but they had the X-ray rooms, the MRI rooms. They had oncology with this 6-foot thick concrete walls with this new German technology laser for cancer patients. That laser zap. It was non-invasive for cancer, and they have one in Lafayette. I think there's one in Houston. There's one in Tucson. The one we put in, we built the room around that thing, and they brought it in pieces. And they had to UL labs had to come out. Underwriters Laboratory had to come out and go through that whole machine since it was a German technology, and put the UL stamp on it. And there was this one guy. He says, "Man, when they get that thing going, y'all let me know. I want to see it." He was one of the electricians. Man, they was running some huge wire, and they have the big cat heads about that big around with that bull tape, pulling that wire through them conduits from the main boxes outside to the inside.
Yeah,
man. Tex Guy 790, what's up, mon ami?
That's like the shipyard, man. They used to hire nothing but cable pullers. That was their job description. And they would use that old yellow looking grease or whatever, feeding that stuff through these
lube,
yeah, man. It'd be a whole crew of them trying to get one piece at a time, ran to wherever it's going. It's like,
Billy said, all that lead line too. Yeah, all them rooms. Well, no, actually, that concrete room wasn't lead lined. It was just the ceiling had 2 foot of lead bars in it, and the walls were 6 foot thick. The door was 2 foot thick. They didn't want that laser getting out of there no kind of way, It was a strong laser beam. Well, it was a bunch of them because they all, when they punched your name in, the technician described it to me. When a patient comes in, eventually, because they were setting up all the computers to that machine, he says, when a patient comes in, we enter their name in, or a code with their name. And when they sit in that chair, we hit activate. All them lasers and cameras or lasers, whatever he said, they all point to one point on their body. He says they in the chair exactly the same every time, but they make sure. And he says, and it takes like 3 minutes for the door to open and close, because it's on a hydraulic ram and it's so heavy, it has to be. And anyway, and then it zaps them for just a few minutes, whatever. It takes longer for the door to open and close to get it set up than it actually takes for that laser to do its job. And they got one in Lafayette over here. Now they do. It's awesome for prostate cancer because it doesn't affect you that much like radiation and all that, because it's not radiation and it's non-invasive. And all them chemicals and stuff, chemo. No, you better off with this type of machine. And any kind of cancers, it'll pinpoint it and it'll kill it. So anyway, it's expensive though. You gotta have good insurance for that. My buddy Richard Ordway, he had a prostate cancer. He did 52 or 53 treatments, I think it was. He had to go to Lafayette every day but the weekends. And it did affect him a little bit. He was like 67 at the time or something, or 66. And he said it did affect him a little bit, when he went to the bathroom to pee. So, but yeah, all those MRI rooms, that was lead line and copper floor, copper walls, and copper ceilings in that MRI room, held in tracks, non-magnetic aluminum tracks, copper, and then copper soldered over the aluminum tracks where the copper plate slid into. Man, that's a lot of copper in that room. That's a lot of money. Because copper was $4 a pound back then. That's when steel was like $270 a ton. You know that, yeah. Gas was $5 a gallon over there too. It went 505. I remember. I'm like, boy, gas is high. And then when gas went down to $1.45, the steel dropped too. You know, all metals dropped at the scrapyard because I was getting all the metal from the building because I was there when it started it, and all the drop offs were going in my truck. The workers would put it in my truck instead of the dumpster, the roll off dumpster. And I go to the scrapyard and they use a magnet to get it off. And I was making 1,100 a week. My job, 1,100 a week, and I was making an extra 600 on the scrap metal.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, I paid my truck off fast. But yeah, them hospitals, when they running all that cable, man. And then the Ethernet guys, the communication, they use, it was on the specs too, on the plans. They used the cable that said it was, and then they came out with this new Cat 6 or whatever. And I don't know. I know they made 5, the 5E, then the 6, and I don't know if the 6E's out or 6W or whatever. Anyway, they call them the risers. They had to pull all of that on 2 floors. On 2 floors, they had to pull everything. And they said, Boudreaux, you want that? Yeah. And I wasn't going to get much for it, because it's considered like number 2 insulated or whatever. Cat cable.
That's like Ethernet cable.
Yeah. And Cat 5, they went according to what was on the plans, but they had to, I pulled everything. And I had 2 truckload. My beds were loaded. And that was pretty heavy. I think I only got a couple of $100 for all that. And that was about $5,000 worth of brand new. About $5,000 worth of cable or more.
Those conductors in there are really small, kind of like almost like thermostat wire or something, real tiny.
It's not that small. No, it's about big.
I'm talking about the actual wire inside the insulation.
Yeah, it's small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Lady Jax, how you doing, Shannon?
Hey,
Actually, you saw me about a month ago, I think. You came in a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I got some Ethernet over here. I got some 6 that I run from my router. My router over there. I got 25 feet. I'm not but 6-7 foot from my router, but I ran it up my door behind the trim.
Yeah.
The top and then the side coming down. So I got a 25-foot deal. I mean, I've got, I got some slack, but that's what's plugged into my laptop. I don't have my Wi-Fi hooked up on my laptop. It's directly into the modem, router. I got a direct connection to the internet. I ain't got no Wi-Fi.
I'm all wireless. We got that fiber optics ran through here, and anyway, it's Wi-Fi. I threw some Ethernet away the other day. It's been laying up here for the 10 years I've been here, and finally, I'm tired of looking at it. I just trashed it. It wasn't that much, maybe 10 foot of it.
Oh yeah. I didn't pay that much for this 25. I got it from Cables and Kits online, Cable and Kit Wholesale. And then my buddy, he makes Ethernet cable. And I was on the phone with him, and I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm fixing to order some Cat 6." And he says, "How much?" And I told him the price of it. He said, "Hell, order me 2 of them." He said, "I make my own." I said, "Well, you make your own." He said, "Yeah, but that's cheaper than I can make it."
Huh.
It's worth my time just paying, $6 for it or $7. Because he's got to break out the ends. He's got, and then you got to do the wires, put the connectors on them, break out the tool and all that. He said, "I might as well just get 2 of them. And my time's worth more than that to make them."
Yeah. Yep.
Man, this interstate's like a ghost town. Ain't nobody on it.
Bad weather? Is it cold up there?
It's cold and ain't no snow or rain or anything.
That's a good thing.
I'm on 90
Smoking
now.
Joe's. Yeah, I'm okay. Joe, I'm okay. I got a little concerned this morning with my coughing up a lung, bunch of blood, my sputum.
What's up,
That's what
Joe?
they call it. And but it's all right.
Mm-hmm. Getting ready to come through Chi-Town.
Oh yeah, Billy. Yeah, you got Cat 5, you got 5E, 6. And I don't know if they come out, like I said, I don't know if they come out with a 6E yet, but I don't know if it's labeled for underground or what. You're supposed to put that in a conduit or something, but a lot of people run it outside under the ground. Some people don't use it. Well, telephone companies, they run it underground with that conduit. They passed through my neighbor's yard when AT&T hooked up. They had Cat 6, and they were supposed to come put a better wire. So there was just a wire laying from the phone box in the ground. You know, still that old copper wire. They claim AT&T. Oh yeah, we got fiber and all that. We got fiber. Man, speeds up the blah, 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 blah. Bull butter. Bull butter. It's fiber going to the hub, to the main hub in town. From the hub, it's all copper for a mile. I'm a mile from the hub. It's all copper, and it's going every which way and through connections and all that stuff. Through a lot of connections. Them little green boxes. They got them one on every block, or 2 or 3 on every block in town. And all in wires go to a connection. They leave, go to the next box, connect, leave. It's not like one big long run of wire, solid wire. It's all connected. And I only had 14 download. You know, they tested. I had 14, the strongest AT&T had. 14 MPBS with megabytes per second. I had 14. That was it. And my internet was slow. So I got tired, and they kept AT&T kept going up. I went back with Spectrum, Charter. They made a deal with.
Well, I went with C Spire for this fiber optic almost a year ago. It'd be a year in May, and then got set up on it, because all we had was AT&T. And then it wasn't a month later, AT&T knocks on the door. My wife answers, and they said, we need to change your equipment out and do a little work. Well, I didn't know it, but they swapped over to fiber optic too, and it's fiber optic coming in. And I'm like, well, crap. If I knew that, I wouldn't have got it through C Spire. So I kept my C Spire. That's what I'm on right now. And she kept the other going because we also got satellite TV tied to that one in there. And I said, why don't we just get rid of all that and use streaming services? I said, we're already using a bunch of them and just get rid of the satellite. No, I'll pay for it. I said, if you want to keep it, You're tackling baloney, huh, Joe? Yeah, man, that's pretty easy, especially with that stuffer you got. Just cramp down on it and let her rip. Heck yeah.
Smoking Joe said they got 1,000 megabytes where he's at. That's a lot.
Yeah, I got
that's a gig. That's 1 gig. 1,000 megs is a gig.
That's what I got. I got 1 gig. I'll swear to you, I can get through a YouTube video. My upload speeds are crazy fast, but I can do a full length video. Let's say 2 gigs. Is the file size. I can upload it to YouTube. And it used to be I could fill out everything, get everything done. That thing's still uploading. Nowadays, it takes like 2 to 3 minutes, and it's already there. Now YouTube has to do their processing, but it's super fast. Like, good gracious! That's the difference I got now compared to what I had before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was glad to see it come to our neighborhood. It cost me $100 a month for internet. That's what I'm paying.
I'm
$99.99.
paying. I started off at 30 for the internet and a house phone, and they said it wasn't supposed to go up for so long or whatever, 4 or 5 years. Started at 30, now I'm at 45,
Yeah.
for the past 3 or 4 years. So that's not bad.
No.
Diabolical 58, what's up, Mona Me? SJ Cooks, what's up? Braxton the Snake Fiend, another one from Shreveport,
The
Louisiana.
way the way I
Representing
look
North.
at it, I make my living on the internet. I depend on it, so I don't mind paying $100 a month for internet.
Ooh!
It's hassle free. What is that? Oh,
It's one of them. Look,
Pro.
man, look at the hair that come off with that thing.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah.
I had them all over me when I got out of surgery that time. I
I got
hated
some
that
of
crap.
these brand new. Hey, these have an awesome sensor in it. Okay. And I got a few brand new ones from the hospital the second time I went in for my gallbladder surgery. And I'm going to make a sensor probe. God, dog it. No. Some more hair. And I'm going to make a sensor probe with them for picking up signals in radios. I'm going to try that.
You have one on
Man,
your butt?
I hope that's the last one. No, I got one more. I thought they took them all off. Damn. Man, I got shit. The girls were having fun playing with my chest. Yeah, that old nurse, man, her hands were so cold. Oh, she went
They
to
could
unsnap them, take me an x-ray. She went to unsnap them, the leads off of them pads. And her hands were cold. Ooh.
they could at
She had
least
just got into work.
they could at least shaved wherever they put them at. That made them a little bit easier to come off.
Well, when I went to my cardiologist, Brittany, I don't know the nurse, I think it's Brittany or something like that. Anyway, she was putting them on to do an EKG or whatever they call it. She put them on like two right here, and she shaved. She actually shaved in the spots where the hair was. I'm pretty hairy on my chest, and she actually did shave it. And then when the nurses were putting them on, she said, "I see you had one that long ago." I said about a month and a half ago. She said, "Yeah, I can see where they shaved it. It's growing back, but she could tell." Oh, she had cold hands. Was it Rhonda? No, it wasn't Rhonda. Billy's wife is a nurse, so he knows what I'm talking about. Hell, they keep them the hallways and the nurses station. They keep those at a low temperature, like 68 or something. That's why they always wearing a long sleeve shirt or a jacket or something. The hallways, they can't adjust the temperatures. They have to maintain a steady temperature in the hospital, like for bacteria and all that growth. So them hallways are always cold, and the nurses station. So and then their hands are bare, writing, typing, and stuff. So their hands they cold. And then they go and touch it, like you're nice and warm in the room, but them cold hands get on you and like make you jump.
Mm-hmm.
$69 for 1,000 meg for a gig. That's a lot better. That's $40 cheaper than Smoky.
30, 31.
Oh yeah, 69. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I saw 60. Anyway, we don't have the fiber here. We still got it in the cable lines up on the poles. That's where our Spectrum internet comes from, and cable. But I don't have cable. I just got the internet and the phone, house phone. But mine's good. Mine's it's not ain't your download, it's your upload too that counts. That's what you got to look at. You upload. I didn't have, but man, a
Oh
point
yeah,
three,
I think my
point
upload.
three.
I think my upload is faster. My download like is crazy fast. I'm like, holy crap, blows my mind.
I had a point three. I didn't even have a megabyte
Yeah.
per second. I had a point three going up. I'm like, what? I said, a buddy of mine had a point one. Hector's Coin and Interest. He had a point one. David, check your email. Quick rinse. Oh, okay. Billy, check your email.
Yeah, I still have access to the other internet in the house, which is also fiber. And the only time I switch to it, if I turn this printer on and print something wirelessly, I have to tie it into the old account because that's what I originally set it up as. But outside of that, I use C Spire. The AT&T is fast. So.
Yeah, we got a wireless printer. We got a wireless printer on the truck. She'll just tie it to her. She'll tie it to a hotspot or something like that on her phone when she needs to print some paperwork out or something like that.
I could go in there and change it inside the printer itself, but I ain't worried about it. It's just a click of a button and I'm hooked to the other one.
Yeah, that's right, SJ. Upload speeds are very important, especially for somebody that streams. Because Hector, he couldn't stream. He could, but man, he'd get disconnected in StreamYard, and I would be in the panel, so I'd be holding up, hosting for him while he was trying to get back up. And he said, "Man, I don't understand what's wrong with my equipment." I said, "It's not your equipment; it's your internet." And I told him, I said, "Check your download, do that test online. Not right now, but tomorrow, whenever, when you not live." Just go on Google and Google upload speed, download speeds, and all that. And he said, "Man, mine's like a 0.1." And I'm like, "That sucks." I said, "No wonder you losing connection. It's not your equipment." So he got Spectrum owns it, but it's still the name. Like we have Charter down here, but it's Spectrum Charter. Then it's like I think he's got Xfinity, which Spectrum owns in his area. Jack Lacan, what's up? Southeast Louisiana representing again. Hey, Simon.
What's up, Simon?
He pays $90 for 1 gig. Yeah. Boy, I wish I had a gig. But I'm happy with my what I got. I don't lag. I'm direct. I don't Wi-Fi my laptop to my router or modem. It's hardwired direct, so I don't have no lag.
All your lives always look clear. I never see like poor internet or anything. I just need a better camera. I'm using this.
I need a better camera.
If I had
your camera, I would be a lot. I'd 10 times better if I had your camera than I am. I got a $20 LG Logic or something. Yeah. It's a 190 or a 290. I'll tell you right now what it is.
I should use one of my cameras I film with, but I don't want to have to get into that overheating thing. I know I got them set to the other settings where it won't do that, but I used to have them camcorders that I used to shoot with, and I had one set up here just for lives, and I ended up giving I got 2 granddaughters, and each granddaughter got a camera, and I gave them those camcorders. But I got a Logitech
HD webcam, which it does 720p, and it's a C270. Yeah. That's what I got. If I had your camera, I'd be 10 times as clear. And
to me, you look
Lance's Amish friend. Hello. Is that our Lance?
No, that's Lance's Amish friend.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I either use my phone or my tablet.
I don't know who it is.
He said, Lance's Amish friend said, "We use 2 cans and a string over here."
Yeah.
I remember those days. Hell, that did actually work. That did work.
It did. We used to do it all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
We had a neighbor. His bedroom was right across from mine, and we'd run that can of string across across the fence, and we'd sit there and talk at nighttime, back and forth through that string and can.
Yeah. It does work.
Yeah. Sure did. That was like the early '60s, man. Lord, that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did mine in like 71.
Can you use magnified mirrors? What are we talking about?
I don't know what Simon meant by that.
I don't know. Maybe I need to keep my internet slow. I'll look more handsome when I
Blur and pixelated.
Yeah.
No, you all good, SJ. You got quality videos and quality live streams. You do.
Mm-hmm.
Talking. Oh, Lance is on my. Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know if Lance is up right now. That's midnight at his end.
He's a night owl.
I forgot. I was like, man, is that late? But I forgot I went live late. I had to get some rest. Man, I didn't get all no sleep last night, and then
I didn't think
not
you were
that
going
I
to
was
go live.
worried about coughing up blood or anything. I just got up at 5 o'clock. Went to bed about 2:33, and I was doing some research on the internet, and I lost track of time. Went to bed about 3. Johnny was on the sofa. Him and the little dog. The dog was sleeping by his feet on the sofa. My little dog, and I got up a couple of hours later, so I didn't get any sleep to mention, to brag on.
That's what I hated.
15 to 6, I was in the ambulance.
When I was in the hospital at the time after that surgery, good God, man, it's like every few minutes they're coming in there to do something. It is actually hours, but all I could do was sleep. They had me on morphine or something. I don't know what it was, and all I want to do is just sleep. And they come in there. You got to get up and try to walk. You got to do this. Have you used the bathroom? Well, I got a hose shoved up in me a mile long. I don't know. Is there anything in there? Not enough.
I think it was Sunday night on Lance's line. When Mom and Pop, whatever, the older black guy was there, talking about barbecue.
That was a good line. I was bowed up painting that night.
Yeah, he was
earlier. Before my wife went to work, I got her to hold one end of the blue tape and put it at the edge of the baseboards, and we put it across the top edge. And I went through there earlier, just slapping paint, pulled that tape off, and damn, that turned out really good. That's what
that green tape. The green tape's the best. It's more expensive, but it's the best. It's call it frog tape because it won't seep through the edge of the tape, the lengthways.
Yeah.
That paint won't seep down in there. Just a little bit sometimes, like when you're doing a door face trim or something.
Yeah.
That green tape, man, you end up with a perfect line every time.
But
I know guys that can cut in. They got cut-in brushes that.
Yeah.
I mean, they worked in brushes and they just.
If I painted all the time, maybe, but man,
yeah.
I hate painting. It's just something I've been putting off. I'm finally getting things done, and I'm doing things off camera, but before long, I'm going to be shooting a lot of this other stuff more on the mechanical.
Frog tape was invented by the Amish, but y'all bastards stole it. Yeah, that frog tape's awesome stuff. I use blue tape when I ship coins and stuff.
Yeah, that's all I had.
I gotta get you an envelope set up, Russ. I got some stuff to send to you.
We bought this tape over a year ago, and I found it. I said, "Oh, cool! I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tape off these baseboards," but that sped things right up when I done that.
I use it. It's not quite wide as yours. I think mine's 1.25 inches, something maybe 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
I cut off little pieces, strips about that wide, and they, 1.5 inches long. And I take my flips to the construction paper. I got a way to ship coins. They're not flopping around. They're in the flips and all that, but the flips are taped to construction paper that's folded in 3, and then that fits in a regular envelope. Put a regular stamp, and then however many additional ounce stamps, a little 15, 16, 20-cent stamps.
Yeah.
And instead of putting 2 stamps, 2 forever stamps, you put 1 forever stamp and 1 additional ounce stamp. And it doesn't cost as much, as 2 forevers. You save money, especially when you ship used to ship a lot of coins like me. I know one guy, he used to tape with shipping tape, that clear 3M off the road shipping tape to tape boxes. He used that to tape coins to cardboard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, clear. Come, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got a partial roll and a whole roll.
This is clear.
Clear like that, where you can see 1 inch through it.
Oh, yeah. This is a little yellow looking.
Yeah,
It's still
that's
shipping.
That's what it looks like when you.
It's called packaging tape.
That's what it looks like when you use a lot of it.
Yeah.
I only got about 2 foot left on that.
That roll's probably been sitting there 5 years. I don't never ship nothing. I get a lot of boxes in, but I don't ship crap.
I got about 500 feet on this one. Yeah. Something like that. It's a jumbo roll. It's let me see.
Mushroom.
50 yards long. So it's 1.88, almost 2 inches wide, 50 yards. So it's 150 feet. But anyway, that guy, Bill, he used to tape the flips to the cardboard and put that in the envelope and tape all around the envelope. He didn't want nothing getting lost, because them machines, them sorting machines that print on the bottom of the envelopes.
Yeah.
If you don't ship it right, the machines will tear that envelope and all your coins will come out.
Right.
And then they put them in a body bag, and that's how you get them a month later instead of a week. Yeah, and duct tape fixes everything.
I got some tape for you. Hang on,
Panchuco. He snuck in and said, "Good night, fella." Duct tape made with the Mighty Ducks. Yeah, they got that little duck logo on them. That's the truth. Dancing along with Reynolds. What's up, Mona Me?
Oh, Chicago.
Foil tape.
Fall tape. For duck work.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there. They got some good glue on it.
We got some Gorilla tape around here somewhere. And Gorilla glue. Yeah, that's real good. I got to get into my air handler here. There's a couple of videos I'm wanting to shoot. And I got to pull all that old off. So I went ahead and bought a new roll of it because I've got to replace it whenever I do that. Trying to get all my... They make duct tape from ducks.
Question mark.
Well, he spelled duck right, so
yeah,
maybe, yeah.
True that.
Can you guys demonstrate the tape your nose to your forehead? That's Lance's honest friend. That's got to be Randy. That's got to be Randy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just the way the stuff he's saying.
Gotcha.
That's got to be Randy.
I was gonna say that that sounds like what Full Wave Wrecked would come out with. but he ain't gonna take the time. Danny's not gonna take the time to make another channel like that. And he's not even here on. I was thinking it was Danny because he didn't pop up, and I was talking to him on the phone earlier. And I told him I was going live, and I sent him a text that I was going live, that I'm live. 5 miles. Keep to the right on I-90 local I-94 local RT 31st. Dirty Grandpa. Dirty Grandpa.
What are you reading?
Lance's Amish friend. Dirty Grandpa is the YouTube handle. The YouTube. Instead of Lance's Amish friend, like if he would leave a comment.
Oh, you click on the dots. Okay.
Yeah. If he would leave a comment in a video, just a regular comments below, not in chat like we are. Yeah. If he would, it would come up Dirty Grandpa. And I've seen that name before. Well, I don't know how many Dirty Grandpas they got out there, though. They got a lot of them.
I am a Dirty Grandpa. Don't know.
Well, if that's not Randy, that's what he needs, guys like that, about 100 of them to come in on his new Monday night shifter show. That's what he wants. He wants people like that to come in there, and he wants to get them on the panel.
Oh, I know. I'm
in the hot seat.
I'm staying my distance from that, love.
I missed the last couple. I was busy. Busting cider. Nah.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, I know Doctor Who. He's in the coin community and other communities, but mainly coins. Randy Who? Well, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Look for The Shifter Show with the star, with the devil horn star, and you're in the right place.
Yeah, you done hit rock bottom when you land on that page.
We didn't hunt no coins tonight.
Nope.
None at all. None at all.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even think about that. Hooking the microscope up and.
Well, does somebody want to come drive these miles from me? I don't want to drive anymore.
You want to drive no more?
Hell no.
Man, you coming in good to be on the road like that, daggone.
Yeah, it ain't every time though.
He is right now. I can see the sky behind him or something. Huh.
Yep.
You said you were almost to Chi-Town, Chicago earlier?
Yeah, I'm coming through Chicago right now.
How's
the traffic there?
It's not busy. I mean, it's
okay.
The streets ain't empty, but it ain't busy.
Gotcha. You on the outskirts, like on the interstate?
I'm on I-90 to Skyway.
Okay.
He said the road was deserted about 20 minutes ago. So I thought he was out in the boonies, lonely countryside. I have a bag of pennies that are framed that I stole. I mean, bought from a friend of mine. Can I mail them to you, Boo, to see if they're worth anything? Yeah, you can, or you can show them in a live, and or come, give me the dates or whatever. But if you want to mail them, and I'll go through them live in a live stream and scope them to see for types of errors and key dates. Now, were they framed at one time in a big wooden frame? My uncle used to have one. He was a coin collector, and uh, and he had every penny, even had the 1909 SVDB, the key date coin. That's the holy grail of the coins, is the 1909 SVDB. He had that one in that big frame, and it went from 1909, and this was back in about 1972. And I don't know what it went up, the dates went up to. I'm pretty sure it probably went up to 1980, because that was a huge frame. It was like 3 foot across, and the pennies were only like in rows like that, 3 foot wide. So I know he had future holds probably until 1980 or 90 or whatever. But every year you take it down, and he'd put a brand new penny in a hole. But yeah, my uncle and his kids were coin collectors.
All right, I'll retract what I said earlier about that being Randy. I think that's Kyle, because of what he's saying about the iPhone and Android. That's got to be Kyle. Kyle, what's his last name?
Alex?
Yeah, Kyle Alex. Now I think it's Kyle.
It's somebody.
Okay. But he doesn't like iPhones?
He don't like Apple anything. He's in IT or something, and so he's got his opinions. But
well, it's when you got to work on them, and you can't get the parts from Apple. You can't get the schematics on Apple products. Apple will not give them to you.
Well, the good thing
they finally did do that right to repair thing. Apple finally bowed down to Louis Rossmann and all the other ones, because they got actual qualified technicians out there that actually do stuff that Genius Bar does not do. Genius Bar, all they do is replace motherboards. They don't get to component level with a microscope like I got, unsolder and solder parts. They don't do that. If they can't unplug it, unscrew it, pop a new one in and plug it back in, that's as far as the extent of Genius's knowledge. They ought to call them the Geek Squad or something, or they're not geniuses. Not if they got to just change the board and they can't fix the board itself.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, as far as knock on wood, I've got a big Apple I've had for 10 years. I've got this one I bought in 23 last year, and I've never had to do any work on any Apple product ever.
That's good.
Yeah.
Jeff Crumpler, how you doing, Mona? Me?
I'm in the same boat. I have both Windows-based PCs, and I have a Mac Air.
Now I have iPhones.
I have an iPhone, and I've had problems with none of my stuff.
The only problem I've had with iPhones is just keeping them so long that the batteries finally deplete, because it's a lithium ion, and it's got a date for it.
There's so many charges on it, and that's it.
Right. But after, for the length of time I keep them, I'm usually ready for an upgrade anyway. But I've had this.
But you're not a teenager. You're not a teenager with your iPhone, and you're on it 18 hours out of a 24-hour day texting somebody or on the internet on your phone. So your phone is going to actually last longer than a teenager's phone.
You have an Apple desktop?
Me? Yeah. I have the I bought this 9 or 10 years ago. It's the one they come out with back then. It's called 5K resolution. It's 27-inch screen, and it's got a wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, and that. There is no cables or anything, and that thing still works great. And then the one I'm actually on right now is a MacBook Pro 2023. I bought it almost a year ago.
23 monitor that somebody gave me. They found on the side of the road. I recapped it.
if you're not big on gaming, I gotta be honest, it's hard to beat a Mac. Because I'll tell you what, I can give. You know what's led me on to them? I could not keep my Windows-based PCs from going ape shit crazy when my kids were younger, with whatever they were watching on YouTube or doing whatever. They would get so many viruses, so much crap would happen to them. The computers would go crazy. And a friend of mine was like, "Get a Mac." So I bought a Mac Air. Went cheap. I mean, it's not cheap, but
no, they're not cheap.
It's cheapest. That was one of the cheapest, like mobile devices. Was the Mac Air.
Right.
And
it's a book on it, or a laptop type book.
I let the kids play on it. There's nothing they can do to cause a problem with this thing.
As long as they don't spill anything in it, you in good shape.
I mean, no,
I'll tell you what sold me on Apple. When I first started my channel, I'm sitting there every week trying to edit videos, and God, man, it would crash. I lose everything, had to start over. I was getting so frustrated. And my wife come into some money. Unfortunate the way she came into it, but she came into some money, quite a bit of money, and says, "I'm buying you an Apple." I said, "Well, we got oranges. Apple, okay." No, I'm just joking. But anyway, she bought me this big one. She bought me this big iMac, and man, I never looked back. I went, "Oh my God, what a pleasure this is!" No hiccups.
Once you get to know them, once you get to understand them and know them, they're flawless.
Oh yeah, man! I ain't no way I'd go back to a PC. No way. Not this late in the game.
One thing that's different about Mac versus every other Windows-based PC out there is Mac designs the computer. They pick all the parts that are inside all their computers, and they only do their Macs. Windows-based PCs, I mean, an Acer you buy from Walmart's not the same, maybe Acer you can get at.
I'll be back.
Or an HP that you buy at Walmart is not going to be, even if it's like says it's got all the same specs, it's not the same HP you buy, say, at Best Buy.
That's true. That's true.
Walmart dictates what they're going to pay for it.
Yeah,
they want to sell it for a certain price. So HP goes and makes a very similar model with cheaper parts.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something else. Like if you go buy a particular pellet grill, I know this is off topic from a computer, but I'm using it as a comparison.
It's a good example.
If you buy a Pit Boss certain model pellet grill from Lowe's, it's not going to be the same pellet grill, even though it will say the same model that you get from Walmart. They're built to different specs. They're not the same. And Walmart being the cheaper of the two, you know.
Yeah, Walmart dictates price that they're going to pay for.
Right.
They force companies to cheapen up the product. And honestly, when you're the biggest retailer in the world,
oh yeah,
and you build something, you want your product in your store.
Right. And I didn't realize that.
Walmart doesn't have Apple. You know, Walmart doesn't have Apple.
My buddy Jeff Rice.
Apple said, no way. We're not doing it your way.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't blame him. But my buddy Jeff, he used to do a lot of Pit Boss videos. They used to send him all these pits, and that's how I found out about that. You know, he'd go to Lowe's. They'd have it sent to Lowe's. He'd go to Lowe's. Then he was going to do a comparison one time on Lowe's versus Walmart. I don't know if he ever did that video or not. I didn't realize there was any difference in them until he enlightened me on that. I'm like, okay.
90% of everything Walmart sells, there is a difference between other.
Yeah.
They got electronics and stuff. Their TVs, everything.
Yeah.
You know, Walmart and Lowe's is basically the same thing because they're interchanged. A person from the Lowe's family married into the Walmart family. So they're on the same kind of level, basically. Like if you work for Walmart, you can't work for Lowe's and vice versa. They don't tell you that, but it's true.
Lowe's carries a higher end product than most home improvement stores. Yeah,
but it's something that I think it's like somebody, the daughter from Lowe, whatever it is, but somebody from the Lowe family married into the Walton family. But it's not a separate thing. But they kind of buy from the same people. It's just it's different. It's not the same as Walmart, but it's in the same circles.
It's two different companies. Period. You know, just like Home Depot is different than Lowe's. I actually prefer Home Depot over Lowe's. I get mad every time I go into Lowe's. They never have what I'm looking for. They just, but
I run into all that too. But it's probably because I know where everything is at my Home Depot because it's closest to me. So that's where I go out.
Well, I go to Lowe's a lot because it's closer to me, but Home Depot isn't that much further. But
I usually, if I want wood, I usually go to Lowe's.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I always find like I need 2x4s.
Yeah.
So much easier to find nice 2x4s at Lowe's versus Home Depot.
Why don't you go to Menards? You get it cheaper.
They're all crooked as shit and twisted, and it matters. You got to dig through them. You're not always. They're not always that much cheaper, Rage. I'll be honest with you. They're all very competitive with each other here and where I live because I have all three.
Yeah.
The Menards and the Lowe's that we had out in Kalamazoo, I price pointed them both, and the Menards actually came out like 50 or 60 cents cheaper.
I'm like, what wood products?
2x4s.
They may be. But I mean, like if you're buying like light fixtures and all that, you got to watch what you're buying at Menards. You got to watch brands. I mean, you got to watch brands at Home Depot too. I mean,
you got to watch brands wherever the hell you go.
I mean,
Home Depot's the enemy.
Heather, how you doing?
Do you want a Glacier Bay or do you want a Delta Ramon or a Kohler? I mean, or if you want cheap, you go with the Glacier Bay. But if you want higher end, you go with Kohler, Moen, or Delta. Or it's with anything.
We were at Lowe's over the weekend, and I was looking because I got to looking at my air conditioner around back, and there was no disconnect. You know how you're supposed to have a disconnect right there? Well, there is none. The wire goes up conduit into the ceiling, goes across the house, and there's a breaker right up under the meter. I'm like, I'm going to fix that. And so I got to looking at the little disconnect boxes. They only had one to choose from. It didn't have a breaker, and it didn't have the pull-out type. This one had the on-off. And what I didn't like about it, it had a hole right in the top of it where you drop that conduit down. I'm like, I don't need that. So I went online when I got home, looked at Home Depot, and they had all kind of choices. The kind I'm looking for that has. I don't want conduit coming into the top of it. I'm actually going to take what's run on the outside of the wall, fish it on the inside, and come through the wall for the power, and then run me the 6-inch whip going from there to the condensing unit. You know, that's how I'm gonna do it. But
we see like Home Depot or Lowe's. If you'd have went on Lowe's site, they'd have had more boxes to choose from too on their website.
Yeah, but
they handle a lot more.
The ones that I was seeing online were showing them available at the store right here by me.
No, nothing.
At Home Depot. At Lowe's, I know what they had because I was in there. They only had one type to choose from.
Yeah, if you went on Lowe's website, they'll probably have more stuff too, though.
They'd have more stuff, and they'd have it shipped there. But it's just like, God, why don't they stock it? You know,
this is probably Rage will probably laugh at this. This is probably the stupidest thing you've ever heard. When I go into a place like Lowe's or Home Depot, I don't know why it is. Maybe it's the red. I don't know. But like, I always got to go hit the tools section, walk through the whole.
Oh yeah.
You're a mechanic, I guess.
And if I don't, I got to be honest with you. When I'm at Lowe's, even though I don't really own anything Milwaukee, when I'm at Lowe's, I never see anything Milwaukee. I'm like, I'm not really at it.
That's because Home Depot's got Milwaukee sewed up.
That's what I'm saying. So when I'm at Home Depot,
Lowe's is Klein Tools. They got that contract. Anything Klein, but Milwaukee. I just bought some Milwaukee stuff. It's right here below me. But I don't care. I'm not.
I think that's my link with Snap-on and all that is the red color. The red.
Well, you're what, automotive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, Rich. I'm the same way. If I disappear away from my wife and she's with me, she knows where to find me. Every
I'm browsing the whole tool section, even though.
Paging raging. Coming to the front of the store, please.
Somebody told
That's
me
why I
that.
don't like going in those stores because I always buy something.
Yeah. I do my share of
something
looking
besides
for sure.
what I went there for. Put it that way.
Right. Yeah.
When I installed that air conditioner in my back bedroom, I took the window completely out and I framed in, and filled in just like, the house would be without a window.
Yeah.
But I put an air conditioner in there and I went to Lowe's and I got some treated 2x4s. And I asked the guy, I says, where's the 2x4s treated for $2 or $3, whatever it was, because the other ones were $5 a piece, the 8-footers. And no, I think I got I might have got the 8s, yeah. And he said, oh, those are on the back rack, on the back wall in that big rack. That's the ones on sale over there. He said, but those are all twisted and knotty and stuff. I was there and I was looking that they didn't have a price, but that's the ones that were on sale. So I went over there, and that's where I got my treated 2x4s because they were straight, perfect, and less knots than the one that was $6 a piece. And that was at Lowe's. We don't have a Home Depot close to us. There's a Home Depot. Johnny said there was one in Karen Crow, which is north of Lafayette on I-49. But I don't know about that one. It must be a small one or something, but there's a huge Home Depot on the south side of Lafayette that's been there for, since about 97 or something, 1997. I do know about that one on the south side by Acadiana Mall. And there's that Home Depot, it has a Lowe's directly across the street from it.
We got to go to Home Depot because I've rescreened every screen around this house except for one. On the back door, it's got the door and then a glass door, and the bottom will let up and down with a screen. Well, that screen was rotten. I ripped it on out of there. I just got to take that frame out and rescreen it. And I did one. We use that solar, that real dark looking screen, fiberglass.
Yeah, right, fiberglass.
That makes all the difference.
And there's two of them in the living room. One of them's been done. The other one wasn't nothing wrong with it, so I didn't do it. But when I'm on the inside, I'm putting that solar on that other one. I don't need it. I want that darker color just to help with electric bill and all. A house with a lot of windows, you can lose a lot of heat that your air conditioner puts out there. I mean, quite a bit, upward to 40% in cases, These are double insulated, so it's not going to be as bad. But still, though, I want that shade. And on that, people can't look in as good, We keep the blinds. We keep the blinds up.
My windows. I screened all my windows with that solar stuff.
I did too.
It even looks better on the outside of the house. From the outside, even from the outside of the house, it looks better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just redid 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I got that one to do. We just got to buy some more screen. I run out of screen. But I've still got 2 packs of somewhere around here. I don't know what I've done with it. The cord that goes in there. Now, one of those screens was missing, so I had to. One was missing, one was bent, so I actually had to build 2 frames for 2 of these windows. And the framing that I bought, I didn't realize it, but it had that rubber cord down in it. I just had to pull it out and reuse it, so I didn't even have to use what I bought. But I got 2 packs of that, for any other screen that I can reuse the frame on. They're all done with that one little screen anyway. That, and I'm gonna redo that front one, the one that I didn't do. Makes a big difference.
See, where I live at, you can go anywhere within 5 to 10 miles. In some cases, maybe 15 miles, and you can hit Lowe's, Home Depot, Harbor Freight, any kind of hardware stores you want. I mean, I'm never without.
Yeah, we got all that around us. If I go and negotiate, there's a Harbor Freight there.
Anything I want to hit within 15 minutes from me anyway. It's the way I go.
Yeah, that's the way it is here. Even Gulfport's not that far, and we got a Harbor Freight there, which I hardly ever go into Harbor Freight. You know, I do occasionally, but if it's tools or whatever, I get them elsewhere normally.
I found the receipt from Harbor Freight, but I've never been in there. But we have one here too.
Now, Russ, there's a place on the Gulfport Highway, like when you're coming from the interstate, when you Gulfport on the interstate, and you head straight south, you know, to the beach.
Yeah.
I don't know, about halfway down or so, it used to be there. There's a place on the left. It's in one of them strip malls. I forget the name of it. It was something like a Hudson's Treasure Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Or Dirt Cheap.
Right.
And, man, I bought a hammer in there one time. I paid $8, $9 for that hammer. And that was a $100 hammer. That was a custom-made hammer.
Wow.
Yeah. That's with a Hudson, you know, Treasure Hunt and Dirt Cheap. That's the same company.
Yeah. We've got some of them around here, and I have been in those.
Yeah. I used to buy my Wrangler gold buckle jeans from Treasure Hunt and Dirt Cheap.
There's another part of it,
they were $30 jeans. I was getting them for $5. And Fuel Guy used to work at one, and right there on the Louisiana-Mississippi line in Slidell, they had a store there. He'd work at that one.
We have a third store too. It's called Treasure Builders, which is part of it too, which just sells building supplies.
Yeah. I know.
I built all the counters, the checkout counters, and them 4-foot boxes about that deep that they go on a box. I built. If you walk in a Hudson's, I probably built that checkout counter at the main warehouse up in Hattiesburg.
Huh. The old red
tables. I had a contract with them.
Hudson's.
Not Treasure Trousers.
I used to go in there because most of the stuff they source came from fires and different things, but there's nothing wrong with the stuff they're selling. It got caught up in along with all this other merchandise, and so they're buying it dirt cheap, hence the name, you know.
Yeah. And then a lot of the stuff they get from, like, let's say Dillard's can't sell all this crap dresses. Well, they buy it for next to nothing. They buy out inventories. I mean, they had one time I pulled off a safe, and because one screw or latch was missing off the safe, they were selling a big freaking like gun safe, which is like thousands of dollars. They were selling it for $40. And the only reason they were selling it for that cheap is because it was missing a hinge or something. Like the door was halfway off. Huh. But then someone bought it and said, all I got to do is put a hinge on there and it's brand new.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was buying toothpaste for like 3 cents. That was like brand new toothpaste. I mean,
you find a lot of those sales like that at like Ross and Marshalls and TJ Maxx and stuff like that.
Yeah, you said the bad word. The bad word.
Yeah, we got.
I ain't saying which one, but you said the bad word.
We got Marshalls here. I don't know about TJ Maxx. We might have. We got this promenade, they call it, right down from where Tarina works, and everything you've ever heard of is in this area. You know, whether it's a eating establishment or whatever. You know, sporting goods, we got it.
They're all built the same way, same stores in the same way in the same areas, just about.
Yeah, there's some stuff we don't have because I know. I talked to Jeff, and they got a sporting goods up there called Shills or something like that. And what we have here, we got Dick's Sporting Goods, and then we got Academy. I love Academy. That's like,
oh yeah,
I used to work at Academy.
Yeah, I love Academy. If I'm going fishing, hunting, or barbecuing, it's got everything I need.
I mean, when they sold the company, it used to be family owned, and then they sold it to KKR, which liquidated all the shit that they have. I mean, because KKR owns Safeway and they own Toys R Us, but KKR buys these companies like next to nothing and liquidates all the stuff.
Yeah.
And the first thing they did was they got rid of all the full-time employees. Said, "See you later." I left before they did that.
From Academy.
Yeah, I mean, now they used to sell like all kinds of bullets in this. Now they don't sell bullets in certain guns. They don't sell this. They don't sell that. It's
really?
like really
they don't sell ammo anymore.
No, they do, but there's certain cons they can't sell anymore because when Obama was president, he put some kind of law into effect, and Academy didn't want to. They said something where you got to fill out paperwork. And Academy, when I worked at Academy, they didn't fill out no paperwork for shit. They were supposed to, like background. They did background checks, but they would just give them the ammo. Say, here you go. But there's certain like Remington. I don't think they're allowed to sell Remington anymore, if I remember right.
No,
Remington and Academy.
Yeah, I've got some, matter of fact, but they don't check nothing for ammunition. But I just recently bought 2 guns last year from Academy, and they got the little tablet where you do your background check, and it's real fast. It depends on how fast you can answer all the questions. Hand it to him, he runs it, boom, you're good. But
they didn't have that when I was there.
I've been back numerous times to get ammo, and I just take it up front, And
it might be different in Mississippi, though. Louisiana's way different and everything, but
certain states are different things.
It was when I was working there. They right before I left, there was like some kind of ammo they got in trouble with where they couldn't sell it anymore. And I want to say it was Remington, but I could be wrong.
It might have been like those, they refer to them as cop killers or whatever, like the Black Talons.
Oh.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it.
I think it was a type of ammo more than it was the brand name.
Yeah, it's a bulletproof penetrator.
Yeah, but they got Remington.
Armor piercing rounds.
No,
not long ago. They even got the what's that one round called? Where's Randy at when you need him? It's critical defense. And who makes that? Hornady, critical defense.
Hornady.
They sell that. I've got it in 12 gauge, and plus I got it for my.
I know you're talking about a shotgun round. Okay.
My my Judge.
I know. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, well, that's the Judge is a 45 or 44 or
45 long Colt.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 6-shooter.
Yeah, it's a 6-shooter. It'll shoot 410.
What, a 411 cartridge?
Yeah, it'll shoot 410s or it'll shoot 45 long Colt. I don't fool the
410. Not 411.
Yeah, the 410 spread too much too fast. I'm not going there. I'd just soon put the 45 in there and be done with it.
The old contenders would shoot. You could change the barrels on a contender too, but they're 45 would shoot either a 410 shell or but you didn't have to change anything out. You just pop it straight in and shoot it. The old contenders back in the 80s.
I watched enough videos on that gun after I bought it, and I had it loaded like half 410, half 45 long Colt, and I ended up taking all them 410s out of there. I'm like, nah, I ain't playing that. I want something that's going to hit if I ever have to use it. I don't want pellets zipping by their ears,
Yeah, the Walmart over here, we in Southwest Louisiana, we, duck hunting, down. If I go straight south of me, I'm like in Gaydon, Kaplan, Gaydon. Man, there's, the sky's black with geese, at certain times. That's what hunting geese down here is a big thing, and ducks in the marsh and all that. And man, in fact, after the geese, the season's over with, the snows and the blues, the Ross geese and the snows and blues, it's unlimited. You can take the plug out of your shotgun, use electric calls, and there's no limit because they don't want them going back up north. They tear up the fields and farmland and all that up there.
Right.
So it's unlimited. You can have a pickup truck load full of geese. There's got to be the snows and blues. And that's your smaller geese, though. That's not like your big Canadian geese or your speckle belly geese.
Do you like duck?
I've never eaten a goose, man. Never in my life.
Man, that's awesome. Especially wild goose. That's some dark meat. The breast is dark meat.
Well, all those things are dark meat because they fly.
He's talking about a plug.
Yeah,
That's
they fly.
for my 12 gauge right there. That's the first thing I took out.
They fly, so they work the muscles out. A domesticated. You got like the difference between the wild turkey and a domesticated farm turkey. And the reason you have such, like, on your honeysuckle and all that, you have such white breast meat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because they don't fly.
Right.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Any animal, if a chicken would fly all the time,
yeah, because
they do fly a little bit.
Yeah, a wild
they'd
turkey
be dark
flies.
meat on their breast.
Yeah, a wild turkey flies, so they have dark meat.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. They're more of a ground bird, but they do fly. Wild turkeys do fly a lot, especially if you flush them. Oh yeah, they taking off. They airborne for a long ways, and wild turkeys got dark meat.
I've had them scare the hell out of me out there hunting for deer. All of a sudden, you flush up a wild turkey. Oh my god, give you a freaking heart attack.
I'm surprised they let you get that close to them. Wild turkeys are, man, they can hear and see a long ways.
Had it happen more than once.
Last time I was out hunting was the year before I got divorced, and I've been out there every weekend I could. I didn't see shit that was worth going after deer wise. And I'm sitting in my tree blind one day, and all of a sudden, all this fucking herd of turkeys comes through. I might have broke the law, but I killed the jay. Put the arrow right through his freaking neck. I'm like, I'm getting something on out here. I didn't have a turkey.
Yeah.
That's why I say I broke the law. I didn't have a turkey tag.
Oh, okay.
They wonder why there's so many turkeys in Michigan. You know how much a turkey tag costs?
I don't know.
It's like $20. It's like $20 a tag.
Huh.
Why are you gonna go hunt them? You can buy turkey cheaper than that when they're 99 cents a pound.
You just get the turkey tag. You know, the little stamp on your hunting license here. You know, you get a card, and whatever you want, you know, you get a stamp. You get the duck, and then you got to buy a duck stamp. You know, from the post office, you got to have that on your card too, and that's like $6 or $7. But down here, you just get a turkey stamps, and then you go by what they tell you to harvest per season, and it's not much. You know, it's like $5, I think.
You like duck?
Ducks? Oh yeah, I love eating wild duck, goose, turkey. Man, Missy can make a mean duck and goose gumbo. Or gravy.
I
grew up eating a lot of duck, but they were all domestic raised ducks. They're all.
Oh no, I've ate a few domestic because my dad would raise them, but we ate a lot of wild duck too.
We used to go dove hunting a lot, and I'd make a big dove gumbo, man, with them dove breasts.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, that or a good jambalaya.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't hunted in years, but Derek spent $1,400 about a year ago to belong to this hunting club. And he started this job, if you remember right, about the time deer season was kicking in. He has not went hunting one time, and his membership's about ready to expire. And I said, dude, you could have bought so much beef with that $1,400, you know?
Boy, no doubt, huh?
At least you got something for your money, dang. Plus, he went up there on weekends. You know, they get the whole membership up there to put down roads or clean up, whatever needs to be done. All that. I'm like, you gonna sign up again? He's like, hell no. I said, that's right. Spend your money where you get something for it anyway. I mean,
guys, I gotta end this. It's 2 hours is up, but I was gonna go 2.5 longer, but man, my gut's rumbling and I'm getting a little weak.
Yeah, I'm getting sleepy is what I'm
Well, I'm going to text you, Cajun, because I wanted to talk to you about something. So if you got a second.
Okay.
After the stream.
All right. All right. If Rage, let's see. Let's start off. Well, whoever wants to start off with that. Goodbye.
Bye.
That's what I was going to do. Bye, folks.
Y'all have
that. Go Saints.
Hump day.
Go time.
It's
All
hump
right.
day. Have a good rest of your week, man. Couple days away from the weekend.
I'm gonna jump off. Y'all
Yep.
have a good night.
Yeah. Later, guys. Later,
All
chat.
right, Russ. Appreciate you coming up.
All right, man.
All right, everybody. Y'all stay safe out there. Until next time, y'all keep those wheels spinning, your beavers grinning. We'll catch you on the next one.
Man, David.
All right.
Oh, you already got yours out? Okay.
Yeah, it's hump day. It's
No.
middle of the week. Finish up the week safely. Hope everybody has a good one. And catch you next time I see you. You ever talk to anybody. And as always, thanks for having me on, Cajun.
Not a problem, Dave. I forgot to send you the link from the get-go. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all coming into the panel tonight, all the panelists. And good seeing everybody in the chat. Yeah, you too, Lance's Amish friend. And David Carlisle, but I see David all night. So, all right. Y'all know the routine. It's good being north of the grass. Y'all stay safe. Be that way. Be that way. Stay safe. And as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. We'll catch y'all later. A Pluta.